Hi everyone, welcome back to part 3. Videos are getting cut off by either me not having enough storage space or the phone's overheating. But let's resume anyway. Uh, Due to the no lights over here, this is going to be a little darkness, but we'll get better. This is Jim Bound. This is the 94 edition of Racing Champions. Lysol came on board, replacing Nestor Pa. I think a Nestor Pa car. So it's irrelevant that they chose Jim Bound to replace his brother Chuck, who moves the Winston Cup for 94 season to Bobby Allison, but got. Unfortunately, the car was never produced. Chuck Brown was injured at Pocono, same track that Bobby Allison lost, not lost, but his career ended. Team was released him. Tim Steele drove the car and Derek Cope drove it. Chuck Brown was just never the same. Speaking of Chuck, this is his Nestor Pa Pontiac Busch Grand National car. I know you can't really see it because due to light, but it is red and white. Maybe that's a little better. But 1990 Busch Series champion. They team did run a little bit of Chevys in '93. I think some of those Chevys came from the Kelly Wallace team that they ran in '92. So, but who knows how that deal came together. Moving on, this is Jim Sauter's number 89 Kraft Tandy Snacks car. This is owned by Jim Mueller of the Mueller Brothers car team that had Evan Root sponsorship for years. This team has run Winston Cup and ARCA. Excuse me. But team regionally don't run anymore because based on funding, how it went up, team probably if they attempted one cut race and B and Q, it probably ended their whole business too. No word really if that owners still have a business out there in the Michigan area, Midwest, with Evan Root outboards. So, I don't know. Over here, we got Butch Miller, who was an ASA standout. One of my favorite ASA drivers next to Mike Eddy and Scott Hansen. This is the Food Country USA. It's owned by Charlie Henderson. They still field teams today in the Truck Series. They've done Winston Cup. They've done Busch Series. They have a slew of drivers in the Busch Series. Rick Wilson was one of them. Brad Teague was the other. Kayla Hall. Ernie Irvin was in the car, as well as Doug Haveron. Morgan Shepherd was in the Busch car. On the Cup side, they ran with Brad Teague in '82 as the rookie contenders, but it didn't really do much. They ran trucks with Parker Klingelman. So they really, Charlie Henderson has done a lot in the sport with his own money, especially his grocery store is based in Bristol. Hopefully one day I can get down there and see what the store looks like. Over here we got Rodney Combs, who drove the '89 Evan Root Pontiac. He was placed by Jim Sauter. Rodney Combs, no idea where he went for '91, but he did drive for Petty Enterprises, Busch Grand National car. Number 43 for a little bit. I know he dad some truck races, and his son as well has dad some truck races. So Rodney didn't really have much you will call a standout, excellent Cup career, but he had a pretty decent Busch Grand National career. So he not only drove for Petty Enterprise, but he drove for the number 1 car, Rex Road Race team that probably was the former Bill Davis team. So that's what he did in 1993. Over here is another racing champion. This is Jerry Glanville's Atlanta Falcons car. This team is basically a Cooper Motorsport team. There was a Buick that ran the 1992 season that Jerry Glanville ran 3 Busch races. I remember back in '90. I remember reading in the Winston Cup season '91 that he wanted to go Winston Cup as an owner, I guess as a driver maybe. He was going to partner with Felix Sabatis, Kyle Petty, Kenny Wallace and do some bush races, but the deal must have fell through. Jerry Glanville raced not only in the Busch Series, but he did ARCA, Winston West, and Truck Series. He was supposed to make a cup attempt, but it never showed. He ended up with Drew a Bouchard, but no idea. And it's a sharp-looking black Buick. Over here is something new. It's the Truck Series, folks. This is P.J. Jones, Scoop Vessel's own #1 diehard Chevy. It's the '95 Premier Edition. This is the first and only year that Scoop Vessel's team ran the full year. PJ did start the year, but Mike Chase finished the year. Mike Chase, which was released from his Winston Cup run active trucking team after one race, and after failing the first round at Rockingham, he was replaced, which is not really fair, but I think Joseph Hunter D. Myers, who over an active trucking team at the time, had a lot of pressure, or to say, hey, we don't want this guy in lack of inexperience. But Mike Chase, probably one of the best Winston West drivers never to get a real good opportunity to run the Winston Cup racing. You can see no race cars, but Power Rangers, sorry, I have them set out between these cars here. You got Harry Gant, Dukes of Hazzard, plus you got Steve Parks' Bush car from AC Delco, Dale Jr.'s Blue Skillings car, Dale Sr.'s Tasmanian Devil car from 2000 Daytona 500, and over here is the Nabisco car, or another wafer car he ran at Charlotte before the Coke 600. This is the #3 Bush car. This is the collaboration between DEI and Richard Cho's Racing. Here you got Mark Martin's Winn-Dixie Fords from Roush Racing, the Bushker National Team. Winn-Dixie is Southern store. Another Southern grocery store, a competition to Food Country USA as well, and probably Piggly Wiggly also. It's one of their main competitions. Down here we got Joe Nemechek's Dentine car. You got Tony Stewart's Shell, Small Soldiers, Wendell Scott's old car, and the Batmobile tumbler from Batman movies. I had nowhere else to put it. Also, you see the transporter of the Martin Marine Team Ireland car team. That is if you in real life, big time operation, not big time operation, but the bigger version, you see it normally. That was a former RCR transporter. Over here is another Joe Nemechek Dentine car. That's the Racing Champions. The other is the Matchbox car. And here's another Greg Tramble car that fell open, and as well as Ward Burton's Hardy's Buick 14 went to Winston Cup and struggled. Yeah, he's going to fall over here. So let's just take a look at the car betterly. And let's move it to the light here. It's a Buick. You can see Hoosiers, #2. #2 was only a 1-year number for that team before going to Ricky Craven in '94. Before that, that was a DEI car number to David Bonnett's Restore entry, which surprising that they did not make a car of that kind of thing, but if they did, that would be kind of cool. It's just an unknown car. Nothing important. Here's Mike McLaughlin's Black Flag French Mustard car, Busch Series Team 34. Ed Ferree from Strasburg, Pennsylvania. He ran the 49 car for a long time before fielding the car for Sean Robinson, the Polaroid Captiva car. That deal fell through during the year. Over here in the back is the Country Time Buick. It's another one of those rare cars, but it breaks apart because it's old. Well, that happens when I got the car. Here's Kelly Arbo's Phillips 66 Tropotic car. One of the cars that was made. There's a Dick Trickle version of the car. I have a leg speed version down on the other side. We'll get to that as well in a minute. And you got the Bobby Daughter Team R Buick, the pink car. That's also a Buick. Here's Tracy Leslie, Detroit Gasket Oldsmobile. Owned and operated, sponsored by Ron Parker's team as well. The team had success with L.D. Oranger, but it didn't have much success with Tracy Leslie. Their last one was with Todd Bodine at Rockingham in '95. The last time we saw a Detroit Gasket on the Busch car was 1999 with Hermie Sadler. Here is the Sturdy Marlin Sunoco Oldsmobile. Yep, he drove Sunoco for a little while. One of the cars I did not have as a kid. I had the Terra Labonte version of it, but not the Sturdy Marlin. Here's Hut Strickland's McDonald's Ford. This was when the car first came out. This is a '92. This is pretty much almost like the prototype car that had the '93 stuff, like the yellow Goodyear. That team didn't really run well with Hut before Spencer took over and winning 2 races before McDonald's went on to Bill Elliott. And here's J.D. McDuffie's Classic Trophies Midford Sons Supply Midford Speed Pontiac Rumple on the back. This is the car that was made in '91 or '92. And J.D. lost his life on August 11th, 1991 at Watkins Glen. He died on my birthday. This is the scratch-up version of it. Looks like this car went through a lot of problems. I think I bought the car like this, or just moving stuff around. The car just got scraped and scraped and scraped, but you scrape it more enough, you can turn into a tech car. Here's Larry Pearson's Chahana 2 Buick. I think I said it right. From 1989, this team only lasted one full season, but was a successful Busch Grand National team before closing after 4 races in the Cup schedule in 1990 with no sponsor. Jeff Purvis and a Jocker Chevrolet. This is the makers from National Refresh, so it's basically kind of like a Hooters car for 1995. This car is owned by Dave Fritz. Excuse me. Like I said, I'm tired. It's late here. I want to get this finished. So, the next 2 cars here are the Michael Waltrip's Maxwell House and Country Time. I have another one which I'll show you here. And then you got the Pennzoil Pontiac. So, Maxwell House went on to 22 and Country Time to 68, which is great. Brought Pennzoil into the 30. Then Pennzoil went on to DEI. And then on to Kevin Harvick and Joey Logano. Down here, you got almost like the bigger cars like you saw on top. This is the 66 Pontiac. It has no driver. If you see it was like that because I had it beside my bed. I wasn't paying attention. I forgot it was there. I stepped on it. Broke it. So basically, if I was a kid and I did that, I'll have myself a wrecker. On the bottom is a Dale Earnhardt Sr. car. GM Goodwrench. Racing Champions. All of them. Over here, you got the Joe Ruttman Ditterbelt Oldsmobile. It has no decals on it, but it's a pretty sharp-looking car. On the bottom, you got Davey Allison. Over here, you got a bunch of A.J. Foyt cars from Oldsmobiles, the Pontiac. See the Oldsmobile. There's another Oldsmobile. And you got the Pontiac. Over here beside the Ruttman and Allison car is two Noah Grayson cars I got a while back during a flea market was going on at Farner's. It's just the black rifle coffee car, Bass Pro Shops, and as well as Nascar and Athletics car. Both Junior Motorsports and Noah Grayson. I think Noah Grayson is my second pick if Justin Haley can't win it. But Justin Haley is my pick to win the Xfinity title in 2021. Over here is the Ricky Craven car, his own team in 1994. Got this car from my friend, gave it to me since I told him I was looking for it. He said, oh, I had another one. Congratulations, you got yourself a car for nothing. Over here you got my Days of Thunder car of Russ Wheeler and Colt Trickle. Over here you got a Chad Little though. That's the 1991 paint scheme with the Ford body before they went to black to start. Chad was replaced by Bobby Hillin before being officially replaced by Jimmy Hensley to run Rookie of the Year in 1992. Chad went on to drive for Melling in the Cup Series. Down here, you'll see more Days of Thunder. You see another Wheeler car. Then you see a Roddy Burns Exxon car. Here's one there too. Then you got Colt Trickle's yellow Chevy. It's identical to Kyle Petty's number 42, but a Pontiac. Then you got a Superflow Chevrolet. What you saw, the other Hot Wheels, well, actually Matchbox car and the Racing Champions version. Same thing with the City Chevrolet. City Chevrolet and Exxon are pretty much the cars that were hard to find, and especially with this model, not the Racing Champions, but this model. Down here is another AJ Foyt car. It's an Oldsmobile, I believe. If not, yeah, it's an Oldsmobile. Next one here, excuse me, is a Buick and another Oldsmobile. There's a Chevy out there, folks. I'm going to attempt to find it. Up here is Kenny Wallace's Dirt Devil scheme from 92. I think that was the same exact scheme. It was supposed to go in Team 3 racing team to 24. But it fell apart because the owner was a scam artist. He just didn't manage his money and didn't do it right. Then you have the Food City and the Molly Black Gold. This car is from Bristol in 1991. And this is the car from 92. That sponsor really didn't pay much and cost Travis Carter, his team from 92, pretty much set up for a year and a half before returning with Hunt Strickland and with Smokin' Joe's car. But ironically, Jimmy Spencer replaced them there too. Down here, we're going to do Kyle Petty's Mellow Yellow Pontiac. Next to it is his daddy, Richard Petty, STP. Over here is Rick Wilson's STP car from 1993. He was replaced at the end of the year by Wally Donalback. Go back to 43. Over here, you got Steve Seligman, who attempted some Winston Cup races with this car, but unfortunately was unable to make the field. This is one of the rare finds as well. So I was really lucky enough to find it. Plus, James Hilton's over here. My friend that has that car too. I said, oh, I have his too on the wall. Up top, you got Harry Gant. It's a Mac Tool Chevy from 1992. Mac Tools went over from Ernie Irwin to Harry Gant after Skull didn't, something about Skull not be able to have a contract. I guess it's money-wise or something, but who knows. There's the Buick version, sorry folks. of it. Then here's the Easy Off car from '93. That is a Chevrolet along with the Black Flag before they went over to Mike McLaughlin's team. Mannheim Auctions replaced that. I don't have the Mannheim Auctions #7 car. Oh, actually I do. It's down here. Also, I have Joe Bessie's Johnson Chevrolet, which is another rare car. Beside it is a car of Rusty Walls. This is the Raymond Beatles team, Blue Max Racing, which you can see has no sponsor on it. Why? Because it's the children's car. This car is made for children or under 21 that can't have either alcohol or tobacco in the cars, but yet Alka-Seltzer is not a tobacco or alcohol either, so I don't know why I didn't have Alka-Seltzer. But over here is the Miller Gin and Draft, the Miller car. It's one of those rare ones that has Miller and Miller Gin and Draft, which I'll get to in a minute. Over here, it's an Oldsmobile of Rusty Walls, Miller Gin and Draft. One of those era-type cars. I don't know why they made it, but they made a whole bunch of them. Like with, you just saw the 14 Pontiac of AJ Foyt, Copenhagen. This is the Skull Bandit Pontiac. And you got the two Oldsmobiles of Harry's. Up top, you got Hutch Strickland's Rebecca's Bricks Buick. Then you got the Rusty Wallace unsponsored Penske car, which is besides the Raymond Beal Miller and Draft car. The reason I didn't do those in order because it just makes no sense, though. But hey, I can't complain about it. Down here is another fellow Pennsylvania, Andy Belmont. I met him at Dave Marcus Day back in '92. He actually got to change the tire of his car, which at the time weighed to 10 pounds, and at that time I couldn't lift it. But if I go back that time as myself now, I'd be like, oh, I'm going to do this fast and done. He lost a sponsorship to Barry Owens' team. Over here is the two Bobby Hillin cars from '92 when he substituted for Davey Allison at Talladega to a third place finish. And this is the car he normally ran for the year. It's a RCR plant. Team Ireland, Monadilla Park, and you got DuPont. And over here is the '93 edition of Racing Champions of Davey Allison. You see the yellow tires, but white Goodyear writing. But like I said, who's complaining? I'm not complaining. It's a good race car. Over here is the flat bottom of Davey Allison's black and white Haviland Ford. Early edition of the Racing Champions, like you saw about Earnhardt earlier in the Part 1 video. Early Racing Champions. Beside it is another Hall of Famer I met, Terry Labonte. Davey is the first one I ever met when I was a kid. This is Billy Hagan's last full season run. He had the Kellogg's cornflakes. I don't know why they went with that color, not with yellow like what Larry Pearson, Greg Sachs, and Dave Marcus drove. And Hutch Strickland drove a Ford for Hendrick at Atlanta, the season finale. It was the Junior Johnson car. Probably just get Hutch some seat time in the Ford, maybe some information. Who knows? Over here is what you call a Sunoco Ultra car. I have no idea if it's a Chevy or what. Pole position didn't really do much with manufacturers, but they just made the cars. Matchbox, by the way, made a Chevy version of the Ultra Chevrolet that he ran sometimes. They did not make a Ford. The first time I saw this car when I was a kid at some collectible store. I was looking at his race cards. I saw that opened. I was like, oh my gosh, it's a Chevrolet from Terry Labonte. Unfortunately, that car wasn't for sale. I wish it was. Over here is the Ultra car of Terry Labonte, the Sunoco Oldsmobile. from 91, another racing champions. And then you got the Richard Jackson, which I mentioned earlier. Terry was going to have his own team. Has signed a 3-year deal, but turned out to be 1. Down here is an ARCA car of Jeff McClure, the Florida State Seminoles Chevy. Don't know much about this, but he ran this maybe in one ARCA race. Don't remember where, but it was a good find, and I'm glad I have it. So maybe some more sport car themes coming in the near future. You can say that this is ARCA, so who knows. Here's another McDonald's for you. Hut Strickland. This car was Charlotte, North Carolina, October 10th, 1992. So, it already has, like I said, yellow tires. Maybe that was already the plan. But just continue racing white lettering up to Atlanta, where they switched to yellow. Here, this is the Country Time Oldsmobile of Bobby Hamilton. No, it didn't come with 2 cans of Sweden of Country Time, but you know, it's a good car. I have the Buick. I have the other version of Oldsmobile here, which I'll show you. Here you got the Bill Sidrick racing truck, another Spears truck, another Spears vehicle with matching numbers from Racing Champions. Then you have Robert Presley's Alliance Trading Center. Question is, yes, it's a Bush car, but there is a Winston decal. I don't know if it's just for promotion or what, but we'll never know. That team shut down during the 95 Bush Series because the owner also sponsored a team like Ron Parker and Detroit Gasket. But the 59 team had a lot of success with Robert Presley and a little bit of success with Dennis Setzer. Now, this is Michael Waltrip. This is just a Country Time. This is an old Pontiac. It is a flat hook, flatbed kind of thing. Get a good look at it. I couldn't believe it. I found it at Farner's Collectables during the flea market for $2. So it's on eBay for $79, so I've got a better deal. And here's Todd Bodine's Buick from Team 34. Interesting, funny story about when I was a kid. My brother and 2 other neighborhood kids, we would race cars. I'm not sure if I had 26 or my brother had 34 or whatever. We were brothers. It was like, oh, brothers. And he said, oh, we're teammates. So that's pretty cool. Next one over is a sad story. This is Rob Moroso. This is both his Swisher Sweets car, his Busch Grand National, and his Cup car from Atlanta. And up here is his Transporter with Crown Petroleum, then his very first Winston Cup car from Hendrick, the Peak entry. Then you have his 2 other Winston Cup entrants from Moroso Products and Prestone. Up top is Casey Elliott, which was going to run the Busch Series, but he passed away of cancer. That's how Bill named his son Chase after Casey. It's Casey's cousin is Chase, who is now a Cup champion this year, joining his dad Bill, joining the father and son Jarrett's and Petty's as champions in the top level. Not only Dale Jr. and Larry Pearson joined their dads as champions as well from the Busch Series, but not as a Cup championship. Ron Rosa, who was killed in a highway crash in 1990 at the North Wilkesboro. Crown Petroleum left at the end of the year because they only had a contract with Rob Moroso. They did not want anybody else behind the wheel, which is pretty sad about it, but that's what the deal was. Moroso went through a lot of drivers, from Steve Grissom, Jimmy Hensley, to Steve Grissom, Jimmy Hensley, and Chad Little in '91, from Sammy Swindell, Buddy Baker, Bobby Hillin Jr. and Kim Campbell also drove the car. Then so forth, Mike Wallace on before being replaced. Here you got the Chase Elliott cars I own from his days at number 24, then on to the 9. Yes, you'll see. We'll get to that. Then you have the Melling cars, red and white and blue, and the blue, which I think that should be switched because it go from 1990 to 91. So that's, they're just there because of Chase. Further up, you have the Tommy Kendall Family Channel Ford. He ran at Sears Point and Watkins Glen. You can see it has the memory of Alan Kowicki and among others that were killed in a plane crash April 1st, 1993. Then bottom is the Jimmy Hensley Matchbox Toys U.S. Bobsled Project. There is another one up here somewhere. Oh, that's just a bobsled. And one of the many sponsors he had during the year. Here's Kurt Busch's days at Stuart Haas. His days with Sharpie sponsorship at Roush Racing. It's a pretty looking car. I hope we see that car on a color on a Chevy if Kurt Busch is retiring. It would be pretty nice to do a nice thing like that. Definitely if it came out of the 1/64 scale, I would definitely buy it. On the below that is hard to see because it's still in the package. It's the Alonso Jr. Valvoline Chevrolet, the 4th entry of Hendrick. Ironically, this is the exact same team that Buddy Baker attempted the Talladega DNQ'd. And ironically, this is the exact same team that I think Jeff Purvis ran at Atlanta with Jimmy Horton was supposed to run to help Hendrick. But Jimmy Horton was injured during an ARCA race driving for Ken Schrader. So that was number 58, which 58 became the 48, which we all know became Jimmy Johnson, now Alex Bowman. And here's a throwback of it to that Paul Menard ran. Identical, but not completely. See how that is a little more red, and that's a more like an orange scheme, but it matches almost. Then you have the Jimmy Hensley Trop Audit car, then another Spencer car, a Monty Black Gold and Phillips 66. There's the Ford that has no name. And there's the Rick Corelli truck, Remax Chevy. Next car is just a promotion for Champion, so no worry, no driver for that one. There's Jimmy Hensley's Haynes Ford. And there's Alan Kowicki's Quincy Steakhouse Ford. And there's Jim Sauter's version of the Evinrude car, exact same as Rodney Combs. Then you have Ted Musgrave's Jasper Engines Pontiac. I think his Chevrolet should be sitting over here, but it's not. It's over on the shelf, but I'll move it after the video is done. Then you have the Family Channel Jimmy Hensley. Then the Matchbox car. I think it's Pocono they ran that one. And up here, and you got the 2 U.S. bobsled cars. If you look closely, you can see it says Alan Kowicki Racing. Pretty cool. Then you have Phil Bartel, X1R from Action Racing Collectables. X1R. Then up in the top is a kid named Jeff Gordon, the Baby Ruth Ford, Bill Davis. Jeff really hurt Ford when he signed with Hendrick. Who knew what would happen if Jeff stayed with Ford and Bill Davis went to Winston Cup the following year? Would Baby Ruth be sponsored or Maxwell House? Who knows? Then you got the 2 other versions, the rebuild car and the Matchbox version of Jeff Gordon's car. Then you have the Spam car, which I didn't really talk about. This is the LJ Racing Team This is Mike Wallace's car. This is before they lost the backing. They struggled. Excuse me. They struggled so much, but LJ team pressed on for 1998 with a lot of good runs by Kevin LePage and Todd Bodine at Atlanta, finishing 5th. And here's Morgan Shepherd's 1990 Motorcraft Ford. How pretty that is, red and white. Beside that, that's the Mannheim Auction Chevy of Harry Gant. This is a Matchbox car as well. See, it says Matchbox Chevrolet Lumina 1993, but it's a 94 car. Doesn't matter if it says 92 or 91 or 90. Hey, you can say 89 Lumina too, as well as 1990. Here, sorry, scraped my knee. Buddy Ayrton's Ford, Ayrton Racing, no sponsor. There's David Pearson, Hall of Famer, driving the Chattanooga Chevrolet Monte Carlo. I believe this is a Haas Ellington owned car. Beside it, you can barely see, it's the Danica Patrick's Daytona 500 J. Robinson premium car. The car came from Hendrick Motorsports. You can see the reflection. It's a nice looking car. Beside it, it's the U.S. Border Patrol for J. Robinson Racing, number 28. Ironically, this team inherited the 30-16 points at the first few races, so to be locked in the field. So that's a pretty sweet deal. Here's Buddy Baker's U.S. Marines car from Daytona's deal, and Dave Marcus's U.S. Coast Guard. That's the only Buddy Baker car I have with his name on it. Same with Team 3. This is their only car that was ever made. The Pontiac version that Kenny Wallace 36, they made a version of that Pontiac, but I can't seem to find it. But one day it will show up. And you got the Navy car, Greg Sachs. It says Diamond Ridge on the hood. Beside it, Alan Quicky's U.S. Army. Then we get to Rusty Wallace again. This car is Milligan and Draft. It's a Pontiac. It's Raymond Beadle's team. Beside it, it's Roger Penske's Pontiac Excitement, Mobile 1. Then you got Kenny Wallace Cox Treated Lumber entry, owned by Rusty Wallace. Excuse me. And over here, that's Racing Champions. This is Reveal, I believe. A little more decal into it. More realistic car he ran. Beside it is his Dark Devil from 92. And beside it, it's Mike Wallace. If you look closely to the cars, yes, it is identical. Just 93 Racing Collectables on the hood. Martinsville, I believe. If you know the answer to that one, leave it in the comments. Then we got Davey Allison's car. This is the Allison, basically Allison related Yates kind of thing. You got the Davey Allison 1990 model car. This one is without decals. That one with decals. More realistic. Transporter in the back with car. And you see of Hush Strickland's Rebecca's Buick, the Buick, the Chevrolet Lumina. And there's my favorite car. When I was a kid, I pretended to drive that car. That was my ride. Over here, you got Buick by Hut and Bobby. The exact same model of Buick, but Miller High Life and Rebestus. And that It's a pretty good looking car. And then you have the open version of the two Bobby Hillman cars that I showed you. Then you got another Matchbox Davey Allison 1992. If you go below, you'll see Ernie Urban's car, Hermie Sadler, Denny Hamlin, Ricky Rudd's 5 and 10, Darrell Walters, Tim Flock special car, another one, another Hutch Circles Lumina, Racing Champions, another Bobby Allison, and you got Bill Elliott, Darrell Walters Darlington Win version, Western Auto from 91, and the 93 version of the Western Auto. Then Jeff Burton, and you got Davey Allison test car and his other car. And you got the Speed Block Chevy of Darrell Waltrip. So, pretty much you got legends in here and Hall of Famers. Down here, it's going to be a little dark to see because there's no light pretty much of what you can see. You got the Petty section here. You got the Peak, STP, Mellow Yellow, Bobby Hillin. Where's Bobby's car? You can see Bobby Hillin's, they made a die-cast of Bobby's 42. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I ordered the blue and white Peak car. So when it gets here, I'll be able to show that off. Probably be a smaller video. So that will be up and running soon. You got Bubba Wallace. His car's back there. Let's see if I can bring a couple out here. This is the NASCAR Experience. This is from 2 years ago. And then got the test car, I believe, of Click and Save. Click and Close, sorry. I don't know why I say Click and Save. Could have been. Then you have the STP. So, and I got Peak Antifreeze's transporter as well. When I first got the Peak Pontiac, I never had that car as a kid. I'm so excited. I have 2 Peak Pontiacs. I have another one coming. So I'm excited. Over here we got the Labonte cars. Yes, there's a Ricky Hendrick car in here. It's 5. Don't know where else to put them. So I have decided I'm going to put him with Labonte's. Then we have Terry's Corny car. Then we have the 1995 version of Kellogg Cornflakes, Monte Carlo. Let's see what else I have. This is Bobby Labonte's Busch Grand National car, Slim Jim Chevrolet. I remember having this car as a kid. I remember getting it on Christmas Day in the stocking, pretty much. This is the car I didn't have as a kid. This is the Penrose Meat Snacks Oldsmobile from 1991. Bobby Labonte's championship season. Here's the Chevy version of it. You can see it says Grand National Champion. Matchbox did not make an Oldsmobile body, so they stuck it with Chevrolet, which is, I guess, okay. Then you have the Kellogg's 2002 Chevrolet. Then you got Ricky Hendrick's car, the 2006 Kellogg's car, and you have Terry Labonte's Snokel Oldsmobile. This is a different version of Oldsmobile, the one that you see on the wall. And here, this is the car that broke apart on me. The package was coming off. You can't really see it, but if you can see a little bit, I'll pull the transporter out a little. Car broke apart. I decided to keep it. It's sitting there like a wrecked race car from a Daytona or Talladega or anywhere. Then you got the Kellogg's transporter with the, I think it's from 1996 or 97. 97. It says 97 on it. It says 96 champion. It should say 84 and 96. Down on the bottom, which you barely can see, you got the Wood Brothers here. Old Wood Brothers car, a Bud Moore car right here. Here's another one. And you got Ed Barrier, Sachs, an unmarked car. Nobody. And you got a Jeff Bodine here. That's a Jeff Bodine car. Here's the Lake Speed version. I believe this is from Fun Stuff. Oh, sorry. Pet Row. Then you have the Corelli truck, the action version of it. A Stewart generic car. Phil Parsons, Jimmy Johnson. You got Kyle Busch there. His 18-5. Then you got Buckshot and Chad Little's Bear car. I'm sorry, can't really turn the lights on. Oh, here we go. So this is what it is. You got the two Venturini cars and Ted Musgrave's 94 Family Channel. That car is a note, just something else. And there's a Chilo. Here's the Bobby Hamilton car. Oldsmobile, you can see. The Nextel Cup car. Here's the Innkeeper car of Jay Fogelman's San Mar team. Sterling Marlin, Santa Claus car. John Tanner. Story about this team. This is the Buzz McCall. Okay, Ward Burton replaced John Tanner. This team not only nearly won the Busch Series Championship with David Green and went the Winston Cup with him, Buzz McCall bought the 11 racing team number 19. Wow. I know, right? That's exciting, the news. Then you have Casey Kane, Sterling Marlin's Busch Grand National car, the Maxwell House Chevy. This is owned by Fred Turner, actually. Yes. Could be a Jack Ingram owned car, but it is Fred Turner. And here's the exact same Oldsmobile, but with Rick Mass, with black wheels. Now we can actually go back. You can see the Labonte cars. I'm so sorry about the lighting. I forgot I actually had it on here. And here's the Petties. But look, that's John Andretti car. I found out on the street. He just needed a home. I'm not sure if I can ever find tires to put it on there, but sorry, I don't think that car is going to be living anytime soon on the track. Down here we have Schrader's Kodiak Chevy. Unsponsored because Kodiak is the tobacco. They won't allow tobaccos on the cars unless it's adult collection. Then you got the Jim Bell Lux car. That's his dad's team. That team shut down because they had very limited funds, unfortunately. Over here you got Brett Padon. This car is a Chevrolet Lumina. That's a Chevy, folks. They made a Chevy, and they made two versions of Kenny Bernstein's Buick. Metal wheels and rubber wheels. Metal, rubber, metal, rubber. Then we have David Reagan's, Landon Castle's Front Row Motorsports plate safe. CSX trains. CSX runs through my town here in Chambersburg. It used to be downtown, but then they took it out 20 years ago, moved it to Highline. This is Natalie Decker's car, the N29. This is the Venturini Motorsports car. It's actually probably the exact same team that Joey Logano drove in ARCA as well. Well, let's continue with the show. We have Ricky Rudd up here, Todd Chevrolet, Hendrick. Over here you got Ed Ferree's trailer. Then you have Mike Wallace. This car is owned by Barry Owens. It's a Duran Paints car. It is a Pontiac. And beside it is Hush Strickland's Stanley Tool Chevrolet from Mac Martin. Larry Pearson replaced them. Hutt did not return for 93. He wanted to concentrate on Cup. Then you have Phil Parsons, 1992 Busch Grand National. This is the White Rose Collectables. It says Matchbox on it. Then over here is his Diamond Ridge colors. And it is, my friend, autographed. Nice. Then here's the ARCA card that he ran in Atlanta. I didn't think I had it, but I forgot it. Now you know. Here is Lake Speed's Purex dial Ford he owned. Ran in 92 and some in 93 before it went to replaced Davey Allison and then went on to Bud Moore. Over here is Scott Legacy's truck of DuPont. It is from Racing Champions. It's match serial numbers. And over here is the Rick Hendrick and Jeff Gordon version of the truck. Really not much change, except for the driver. Maybe a little more of the paint scheme, but I don't know. Then you have the Superstar. This is the Matchbox Die Hard Racing White Rose Collectables version of Die Hard truck. P.J. Jones, or nope, sorry. Trying to hang on here, not fall. It is Mike Chase. Over here is Mike Bliss. His 06 and 08. I don't know why he changed numbers, but hey. I have another truck of it. Well, not his, but another version of the 06. Of which is over here. I'll get to in a minute. And another J.D. Maduffy car. Down here you got Bill Venturini's Amico Ultimate Chevrolet. This is his Winston Cup car, not the ARCA car, which is number 25. Bill Venturini was going to run full Winston Cup with Amico, but apparently Amico didn't put the money up. It just fell apart. Over here is Larry Pearson's Pontiac of Chattanooga 2. You can see Pontiac, and next to it is his Buick. And the Chevrolet Lumina again. An air car, I called it. And that one is also an air. It's a Pontiac. I remember having the Buick pretending it's a Jimmy Means car. Then you have Larry Pearson's Stanley Tool Chevrolet. This is the Monte Carlo from 1996. This is the last time he drove. He was replaced. Matt Martin didn't really seem the same after that. Here's the Buick version of Jay Fogelman, and over here is the Chevrolet of Jay Fogelman's car, another era car. The next row, it's a Moroso cars. Let's start from the front. You can see the cars again. Here we got Rob Moroso's Crown Petroleum car. It has STP decal. This has no decals. Both racing champions. After he was killed, sponsorship was gone. There is no 1991 version of Moroso's car, so let's jump to 92. Here's the First Aid Sports Drink, Busch Square National. They attempted some Winston Cup races with First Aid. Jimmy Spencer ran at Bristol in the Ford with First Aid colors with Food City on it. I like that car. I wish they made a die-cast of that one. Over here, Trackside Limited Edition, they made a Pontiac version of the First Aid Sports Drink. It looks pretty good compared to that one. I'm happy. And then they made an Orkin Pest Control Pontiac. I know Orkin backed Joe Rutman at Charlotte that year. Wrecked, giving Moroso's team second start. The first start was Atlanta with First Aid Sports Drink with Mike Wallace at the D&Q at Daytona. Then you jump a year. This is the 93 Phenilube Ford Joe Rutman. Joe Rutman drove a Chevy in the Busch Series. Joe was replaced by this guy, Randy LaJoy. Randy LaJoy and Buddy Baker were supposed to share the ride, but after Neil's crash, Buddy Baker gave up after Atlanta. So randomly Joy took over, but Bobby Hillin was in the car as well, and so was Jimmy Hensley. Down here is Darrell Waltrip's Western Auto 96 Chevy truck, racing champions. Then you got Rob McCatherin's Venable Ford. Another Corelli truck, 95 Total Petroleum. I had a Remax truck. Then you got TJ Clark's two trucks of this color and the blue. And then you have Mike Skitter and the RCR second car with Realtree. That sponsor went over to Dave Marcus while Lowe's came to 31. Now we're going to go into the last wall, folks. The last wall. But before I do, we're going to go down here. That's Andy Belmont. Metal Resters. And it is signed by Andy Belmont. Dun, 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 dun. Happy, you know, if you clap your hands. And up here in the last row, last wall, not last row, wall. It's the Haley Deegan West car. Look at that, winner at Meridian, Idaho, September 29th, 2018. Look at those rookie stripes. Look at that car. Look at that driver. She's going to be something. She needs to stay in ARCA. Over here is the Ken Bouchard's ADAP car. It's the Busch North car. It's one of the rare Busch North cars ever made. I mean, if you're a kid, you can have this car either compete in the Busch Series or Winston Cup, whatever you want to do. Or something, yeah. Over here is David Green's Slim Jim Chevrolet Monte Carlo. 1 year he drove for that team. He moved to the 95 the following year. Then went to Winston Cup. Then you got Sammy Swindell, Channel Lock Aikens, and Sutton Ford. Channel Lock has the Busch Series championship with Steve Grissom. Yeah. They also backed Phil Parsons in the Busch Series. And they also backed Steve Grissom in the Busch Series. Also a couple Winston Cup races in '94. And a full Winston West with John Krebs, who is a friend of mine on Facebook. Over here you got Jeff Bodine. This is all 95. That'd be funny with Jeff Bodine's name. No, it looks like Greg Sachs. Over here is the Aikens and Sutton Busch Grand National car. This is Elton Sawyer. Talk about tough luck. This poor guy had no luck at all. He just won 2 Busch races. That's all he did. He got an opportunity to run Winston Cup for Junior Johnson. And who's that other team? David Blair. They sucked. Pretty much. I don't think David Blair even cared. But I met Elton Sawyer at Hal Lowry Ford dealership a long time ago, back in the 90s. I think it was 94. And right now that's closed down, torn up. It's a restaurant now. Used to be, I don't know, now it's Bonanza, but it was Ryan's, now Bonanza. And here's Rodney Combs again. That name, Rodney Combs. U.S. bobsled, going for the gold. 7 car. Now it's a 43 from one team to another. Busch Grand National. Rodney Combs. Then you have the Quaker State Chevy truck of Jack Sprague. Ron Hornaday's best rival. Missed those days. Very much. Then down here you have another Pennsylvania, Tom Peck. And here's Tom Peck as well. And here's Tom Peck with a channel lock. Honestly, I think he really got screwed by the Grissom team. By Gary Bechtel buying it and putting Steve Grissom in the car. And I think towards the end, before Bechtel bought it, I think crew members on that team was sabotaging Tom Peck. So, who knows? Conspiracy theorists, get your minds going. Here is the, in memory of Clifford Allison, this is the Sports Image Chevrolet number 12. This is actually an ARC car, not a Busch car. And, you know what? When I was a kid, this was my car I ran in the Busch Series. Yep. This is one Oldsmobile, and here's the other. Down here, you got Derek Cook's FDP brakes. Ford. Ron Zook, former Davey Allison team. One in New Hampshire. Then Johnny Rumley's Big Dog Cole Chevrolet. Honestly, I don't think they made a Oldsmobile, which he ran and won. So they made a Chevy. So 00. Moving on, let's go to Winston Cup Victory Lane again. This time it's Alan Kowicki's. Hooters Ford. Alan could have been really something if he wasn't killed. See, action car. Racing champions. Over here is Alan's 1993 edition from the 92 Cup Championship. You know, it has a black Goodyear logo, but look, yellow tire Goodyear. Up top is the kid named Jerry Nadeau. This car was owned by Greg Pollux, the same guy that owned Chad Little's team, the 23 PPC team. So 23 and 15 were teammates. Busted Fuses only sponsored 2 years, 94 to 44, and 95 this team, the Busch Series, number 15. Over here is Jerry Nadeau's Rookie Cup car. I had another version of it. It wasn't this version, but hey, like I said, can't complain. Further up, that Chase Elliott kid again. Another Chase Elliott. His Taxler car from Daytona. Race version. Pretty cool. Hey, look. Winner. And over here is this Hooters number 9. Oh, look how it glistens off the lights here. Pretty car. Over here, Hall of Famer Bill Elliott, 88 Cup champion when he drove for Jeter Johnson. This is the 92 car. I like how the line, sorry, I'm trying to point my finger, the line goes through. Then you have the Bill Elliott Melling Ford, and you have the red version. Nice. Going to the next row, next to last row, you got independent Jimmy Means in an Alka-Seltzer. 2 of his cars, you got the black tires and the silver. Jimmy Means in the Alka-Seltzer started from 89 through 91. Only driver other than Mickey Gibbs drove the Alka-Seltzer, Bobby Hillin, and Mike Wallace. They feel that Jimmy Means ran an Oldsmobile at Martinsville and North Wilkesboro in the fall. Dean Q to Martinsville, but ran North Wilkesboro. I don't know why Jimmy Means ran Oldsmobile, but hey, maybe he was trying something different. And here's his Taco Bell car from Bristol in 92. It is from pole position. Yeah, sorry, didn't mean to get up further. I like that car, but I prefer that one better. The last row will consist of Butch Gittleman. There's the 06 truck again. See the difference? That one's white, and that one's that one. Maybe he ran that one after Bliss ran that truck before it came to. And then the last 3 drivers are Stanley Smith and the Miller Racing Batteries. This is actually an offshoot of Interstate Batteries, but he lost that sponsorship at the 92 season ended. Stanley Smith's Winston Cup career unfortunately came to the end at Talladega when he suffered a fractured skull brazen same injury that killed Neil Bonnet and Dale Earnhardt, as well as Adam Petty and Kenny Irwin and Tony Roper. But Stanley Smith lived on. He was going to run trucks, but the deal fell through. But Stanley Smith won a Southeast Tour race at Kentucky with number 49 Babbling. He was really excited. And here's the pit road version of his car. Don't know much about that scheme, but I know that was a normal scheme for him. He had some good starts. You know, he led 12 laps at Phoenix in 91 with interstate batteries. I wish they made the 49 interstate batteries Buick, which I think I would buy that car in a heartbeat. The last car is Junior Texas Pete Chevrolet, 92 Grand National Champion. Yeah, that's the 92 champ. When he had Dentine sponsorship, gave him Winston Cup debut, and practically after that car was purchased, they built that 93 car, or number 87 Winston Cup car for New Hampshire. I'm not sure if the car probably was repairable. Went on to run 2 more races before Joe drove the 4 car. For 2 events to stay at 5 to make rookie eligibility. So that's my collection, folks. But there's another car. You can't really see it. It's the Hogan car. I forgot to write it out, but you know, it's a Hogan car. Ronnie Combs again. Seems like I'm becoming a popular name around here. But these are all my cars I have collected the last couple of years. It's not my original collection, but you know, giving you guys a better shot because now the light's on of the cars. See, Greg Trammell, F. Reed, Dentine, another one. There's Stuart Window Scott. Here's Mark Martin, Dale Jr. There's Budweiser Can. There's Senior Parts, Coca-Cola Pen. And you got the Dukes of Hazzard car and a Harry Gant big car. I think this is the 1/18 scale car. Excuse the Power Rangers. And you have the Stewart, the Mass, Trammell again, Dorsey Schrader, Eckert, Schrader, Chuck and Jim Bound, Jim Sauter, Butch Miller, and that guy Rodney Combs again, and then Jerry Glanville, P.J. Jones. Over here, you got Haley Deegan and the Harvick cars and Boyer. Down here, you got, of course, you got more Harvick stuff and Darrell Walsh's 17. Earnhardt Jr.'s Chance 2 cars. Earnhardt, Tim Richmond. So that's pretty much my collection going, you know, through. But like I said, there's more, probably will be one officially coming, and probably a little more going to come. That will be another video with the Peak car if decided to do another video, which won't be long. It will be a short video. But I know my cousin has older cars than me. Not older, but late 80s, early 90s models. Probably some will be duplicates. So it would be neat to have. You know, can just say, hey, I already have them. But hey, take them while you got them. It's like they say, smoke them if you got them. You got my Dodge Monacos, who are protecting the race cars. So stupid of saying it. Then you got Dick McCabe, there's Hornaday, Jim Sauter again, Matt Kenseth. And you got the Earnhardt cars, and Vic Murray and Larson's. You got 10 Musgrave. This is actually a pretty weirdest, excellent car I ever did see. Looks like more like a little sedan car. Yeah. And you got its bonnet, Earnhardt, another bonnet, Trickle, Burns, and there's the other Superflow car, and you got 10 Richmond, and another Jimmy's with the silver wheels. Over here, you got Park and Junior, Junior, Marcus, Junior, Jarrett, Junior, Bonnet. I know I already got it, but down here you got the other Days of Thunder cars as well, along with Musgrave. Just giving you guys a good look. Yep. Then you have cars from over here, up top. So, folks, that's my collection. This is actually North. Give a video a like, comments if you have any questions about each car, like information about it, who owned it, if you missed it, and how many races it ran. Let me know in the comments, and I will get back to you when I see them. But I really hope to do more videos like this. I could do a video with Winston Cup scenes, but I don't know when I'm going to do that. So, probably over Christmas break. So, I'm just giving you guys one more look of these cars. How awesome it is to have this collection. It's very awesome. You got my Pittsburgh, go Pitt. And you get the Zords. Just going around the room. Basically, forgot about these cars back here to get. They need their second look up. I know, it looks crazy to be doing it, but you don't know the struggles. Not all cars are all together. They're like, woo woo, spin spin, make another left turn. I am sorry you guys did not get a second close up with these, which I am doing it now. Like I said, this is probably the best collection I have ever had of my entire life. There's cars up here I had and didn't have as a kid, and cars I never knew existed. Were basically hard to find. You know, I can't believe it. So, I just wanted to give a shout out to eBay. Some of these cars came from eBay. Some other cars came from Farner's Collectables in Fayetteville, Pennsylvania. I will drop not only their address on the description, so give them a ring-a-ding. He has a website, but they don't do any orders. I email him. You'll have to come to Fayetteville, Pennsylvania. Just stop at his store and buy, collect. He has all sorts of stuff, from hats, t-shirts, cards, race cars, NASCAR, Indy cars, Formula One, dirt, name it, he has it. And he does do pre-orders, so if you want to do a pre-order of something, do it. Make sure you get up to I want to say Waynesboro, but it's actually Fayetteville. Sorry, Eric. But it's my pleasure of sharing these cars from my childhood. Something I collect as a hobby. But once again, I want to thank Eric Farner for allowing me to purchase some of these cars from him. I don't know everybody off of eBay I bought off of, so thank you guys as well. I'm looking forward to buying more off of you. Eric, definitely buying more cars off of you. Keep it coming, buddy. And if you ever make it up to Pennsylvania and stop at Fayetteville and you go into Farner's Collectables, make sure you drop my name And he'll go, oh, I know that guy. He buys race cars off of me. So he's a good person. So Eric Farner, thank you, buddy. So just want to give you guys a good look. Once again, I know I gave these guys a second or third chance, but it's just want to keep on going, talking for another 20 hours, but I can't do that. Gotta sleep, gotta be at work tomorrow. So just